So in today's lecture, we will learn that what is cost benefit analysis. So this lecture is important for the students who are learning software engineering and structured system analysis and design. So cost benefit analysis is used to measure and estimate the benefits of a decision and taking action for reducing the cost associated with action. So what is the need? What is the significance of cost benefit analysis? Why we are doing this? So when we develop a software, then we should know about what is the actual cost of making it and what is the benefit behind the cost as well as the development of that particular software, or we can say that particular system. So now we are discussing about the key factors of cost benefit analysis. So next point is identifying and estimating all the cost and benefits of carrying out the project and operating the delivered application. So we have whatever the delivered application, that we have to carry out the project and operating all the deliverables in that particular application. Next is it involves measurable financial matrices such as revenue generated, or we can say that tax generated by that particular matrix. We have discussed in our previous lecture that matrices are the measurement methods which is used to calculate the tax, calculate the cost, effort, time and development for the generation or for the preparation of the software product. Hence, cost saved which results in the decision to continue a project and expressing the cost and benefits in common units. So we have so many process steps in this cost benefit analysis. Many authors have presented their view in different perspectives. Well, we know about that every person has different perspective of each and every topic, but we are concluding all those steps in these 10 simple steps. Okay, so number one is project goal and objective. You have to define what is your project goal and what are the objectives. And next is note alternatives. You have to note down the alternatives of that particular cost as well as the benefit estimation. Third is list stakeholders. Fourth is choose which metrics to use. You should know about what measurable method or what method for calculating the cost you are using in your cost benefit analysis. See, we have different softwares. If we categorize the software, then we have two major classifications: system software and application software. So there are different matrices for the measurement of different softwares. So here we should know about what type of metric we are using for cost benefit analysis for our software. Is that clear? Next is determine the outcome of cost and benefits, use a common currency, figure out the discount rate and find the net present value of the product. So after all calculating all these factors, you have what we are doing here. We are doing here a sensitivity analysis where each and every perspective or factor is mentioned to calculating the cost. And the last is decision making. So what is the decision comes out to after calculating all these cost factors as well as the benefit estimation. So here is cost estimation. So if we are talking about cost estimation, then we have to compare the benefits with other investment options. Like if we have to go somewhere to develop a software, and the cost estimation on what basis the developer will give us the amount of that particular software. So these are the different investment options in that particular area. Here overall estimation based on required activities, structured, or we can say that structure, each activity, installation, setup cost, operational cost. So after calculating all these estimations, we have a compiled estimation. On the basis of that particular compiled estimation, we will decide that the existing cost is this, and if we will change that particular module in that in a software, then we have to change the estimation also. Okay, then difficult, what is the difficulty here? As lot of these are estimates where estimation errors cascade. Here we can say that if we have different estimations, so we it will give some errors also in estimation. So we have to aware about all these errors, that there is no error or no problem to calculate or to estimate that particular cost of a single software. So here is the broad classification of cost categories. So according to cost category, or according to some researchers and authors, there are three major classification or three major categories of cost. So number one is development cost, number second is setup cost, and the third one is operational cost. If we see in development cost, then we have two factors. Number one is salaries, which is totally based upon the base incentives and bonuses which will be given to the developer, and equipment for development. Whereas if we are talking about equipments, then in terms of IT industry, we have only two equipments. Number one is hardware and the another one is software. So these are the two significant factors which will give us the development cost. And after if we are saying that setup cost, then we have two different factors. Number one is hardware and software infrastructure. Why infrastructure? Here infrastructure means that the facilities given by the estimator and the facilities given by the user to a development team, that that on a single software, what type of hardware is used, what type of software is used. So it depends upon, if we can see that this is the hierarchy. On the basis of the requirement of the user, we are developing a software, and after developing this software, we are calculating the cost. And what are the basis to calculating the cost and benefit? We are calculating the cost and benefits on the basis of the hardware and the software. So there is an infrastructure of hardware and software. What type of facilities of hardware, what type of facilities of software were there? After that, recruitment or staff training. So this is a very important factor in setup cost. Why? Because a non-technical person is not able to set up the cost. Why? Because he or she has no idea of setup cost of hardware or software. If I am considering if that there is a person who is non-technical, who is not aware about the hardware and software or the IT industry, then he or she is not able to estimate the setup cost. But if we are talking about a person who is technically strong, whose technical skills are strong, then he or she will calculate the setup cost, and in that setup cost, he or she will calculate the installation as well as the conversion cost. What is the conversion cost? That if you are changing some modules, if you are changing some units, if you are changing some another factors or testing levels or any other language, so these are the conversion cost. After that, the last one is the operational cost, where we are seeing in this diagram that costs of operating the system once it has been installed. And after the installation, we have 5 different type of cost. Number one is support, second is hosting, third is licensing, and fourth one is maintenance, and the last one is backup cost. So these are the operational cost. After the product releases, we have to support and maintenance team also, and the persons who are supporting or maintenance that particular software, they will charge their cost according to their role which played in that particular maintenance and all. After that, licensing, who's the host, if we are talking about the system software like web applications and all, operating systems and all. And what is the backup? Backup, a term which is related to databases, data and information, database management system, mining, clustering and all. So after completion of cost estimation, we have to estimate the benefits, that what type of benefits are given by a person who is calculating or estimating the benefits. So estimate benefits of a new system based on estimation of cost savings and money generation when deployed, and the value of information obtained for objective driven project, value of intangibles. And direct benefits are, there are different types of benefits estimation in benefit estimation. So number one is direct benefits. So these are the benefits which is accountable to the new system, and the two important factors in this is cost saving and money generation. For example of cost saving is less staff, less paper, quicker turnaround time, waiting time, response time. Money generation will say that new revenue stream, markets, objects, classes, discussions and all, which will related to your money generation. After that, measurable after system is operational. And what is to be estimated? Obviously the cost as well as the benefit. So the next one is indirect benefits. Why indirect benefits? Which are not directed, which is not direct. So these are the secondary types of benefits of a new system, in which we have to increase the flexibility, quality, reliability and all the factors which are related to your software, and the better workflow environment, better infrastructure, and the quantifiable after the system is operational, and which is has to be estimated for. Why? Because of the cost and the benefit analysis. And the last one is intangible benefits, in which we can say that these benefits are not tangible, but obviously these are the benefits which are hidden, but these are the very important. Like if we talking about external system, what is external system? Like if we are talking about if I have a brand and I want to increase the branding of that particular brand, and what is the measure and what are the factors to increase the branding of my product? That is a market. So you have to enter into the new markets to uh, given the benefits of your external system as well as the internal system. And what is the role of your internal system? Internal system is used for the person who increase their interest in jobs, for users, enable for other systems, and which is very often too specific to a project and not measurable even after a system is operational. And last but not the least, that the part of strategic decision rather than cost benefit analysis is very important factor in intangible benefits. There are many techniques to calculate the cost analysis and benefit analysis separately, but we are taking both estimations together, and according to some prominent researchers and authors, we are presenting some techniques. I am presenting some techniques on in a very short and in a very precise and concise manner. So let's see what are the techniques of cost and benefit analysis. So time of payment should be considered in these techniques. Why? Because there is a duration to calculate the cost, to calculate the benefit. So this is not a lifelong activity. This is an activity in which after the product releasing, this is a parallel work. If a software is developing, by the development team. Parallelly, the persons who are calculating, or those who are the experts in the cost benefit analysis, they will calculate the cost as well as the benefit. On what basis they are calculating the cost and benefit analysis? The benefits and the cost on the basis of net profit, that what is the net profit behind that particular cost generation, and payback period, what is the period to pay, and return on investment, what is the investment behind all these software items and whatever the product releases or items related in the market, and what is the net present value of that particular software, and what is the internal rate of return. So we have concluded in these techniques into five, into these all five these techniques, but there are so many techniques which are useful for cost and benefit analysis generation, but these are the key techniques, these are the important methods which is very common, as well as which is very common in the calculation or the estimation of the cost and benefit analysis.